Hi everyone, Rene here. Today's video is going to be on creative writing mind hacks. One of our viewers just recently sent in this email. He says, do you have any hacks for developing creative writing? It is generally believed that when we write spontaneously, ideas come directly from the subconscious. Or do you know anyone giving online training for beginning a writing career with or without hypnotism? Well, I have the answers for both of those. First, let's start with the mind hacks that I have for you. This is actually a 5-step mind hack that I've used to write most of my books. Here's the first one. Write down exactly what you want in statement form. So if you want to be more creative, write down that you want to be more creative or exactly how you want to be creative. Do you want to write about a certain topic? Write that down in your statement. Do you need more information on a certain subject? Write that down. If you haven't written down or established exactly what it is you want to know, then how do you know where you're going? So you need to write this down so you have something to focus on, a place to start. Now here's a few things you could do. Number 2 is when you have a chance, sit and meditate quietly and think about it. Have a notepad handy. In all these techniques, it's great to have a notepad handy so when you get ideas, you can write them down. Another thing is to sleep on the idea. This is what I do most of the time. Just before you go to bed at night, read your statement, get it clear in your mind, and think about it as you're falling asleep. Because usually what happens is the last thing you think about as you fall asleep is what you'll bring with you, I guess you could say, in the sleep state. And the deeper you go, the more your consciousness opens and the more ideas you get. This is why a lot of times when you go to bed thinking of something, you wake up in the morning and you have all these great ideas. You don't know where they came from. Well, they came from your subconscious while you were sleeping. So again, have that notepad handy, and when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything, before your feet even hit the ground, grab that notepad and write down all your ideas. In fact, I have a whiteboard. Actually, I've got about 4 whiteboards on my wall in my home. So if I get up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom or to go get a drink of water and I have ideas, which usually I do, I'll stop at the whiteboard and just jot down all the ideas. Now in the morning, I have them right there. And yeah, sometimes they're hard to understand because I was half asleep when I wrote them, but there's some great ideas. Matter of fact, that's where I got the ideas for this mind hack. Is last night I woke up at 1 in the morning, and when I got up, I wrote them all on the whiteboard. So the next thing you could do that I mentioned already a couple times is to carry a notebook with you for ideas that you might have. You need to have access for something to write in throughout your day. Now, carrying a notebook with you is great, but you need to use it. A lot of people don't even open it up. When you get ideas, when you think of something, write them down. So when you're ready to work on your book, you can flip through your ideas and see what you've come up with. Number 5, and probably the most important thing, is to do what I call a mind dump. Okay, a mind dump. Sounds weird, but basically it's writing down a mind map of all your ideas on a topic until you exhaust them. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with a mind map, never use one, or don't know how to do that, go online. Go Google mind map and you'll see many, many ideas. What it is a mind map works according to the way your mind works. When, a lot of people like to make to-do lists and they say number 1, number 2, number 3, and that's nice, but that's not how your mind works. Your mind's all over. So a mind map is basically you write in the middle of a sheet, whatever it is, being creative, let's say make a circle around it. And from that, you're going to have all these offshoots. So you have your circle, being creative, and there's a line going over here. Chapter 1, I have this idea. Chapter 2, I have this idea. Oh, I want to make sure I have this kind of picture. And you have all these lines going off into other topics. And from those topics, other topics. And it kind of spreads all over in these, basically a map. And that's how your mind works. It's all over the place. But when I say mind dump, what you want to do is you want to sit there. And I have a big thing of paper. It's probably 3 feet by 2 feet tall. And what I do is I'll sit someplace where I can lie that down and I'll just write everything I can think. I just dump everything in my mind on that paper on the topic. No matter how relevant or irrelevant you think it is, I mean, you might be getting 15 levels away from the topic, and that would be like a subtitle, sub. But just keep on writing everything until you've exhausted your mind. Then walk away from it once you've done that, and you can come back to it later. Then I'll put it on my computer, and I'll make it, the kind of like an outline with the A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, so it's more understandable. But this way here, I have all the different parts, and I can squeeze them in between here and there, and I haven't missed anything. So you're going to find you'll get a lot of information doing this. I use the mind dump process for most of my books, for all of my webinars, for most of my courses. So I found this to be extremely helpful. So there you have it. Those are my creative writing mind hacks. That's how I get my ideas to write my books. And so far I've written over 35 books, so they do work. Now, in addition to that, the question says, do you know anyone giving online training for beginning a writing career with or without hypnotism? Well, I have some help for you there as well. If you go to our online store at theamericanschoolofhypnosis.com, what we have for you there is a course that I've created called Create an eBook Course. Now, this is basically taking all the experience I have in writing and a lot of research I've done and putting it into one place. It starts right from the very beginning, not just writing a book, but by getting all your ideas together, your research. It even shows how to do the brain dump process and walks you through that. It goes through some choices you might not have even thought about of whether you're going to write the book or you're going to get someone else to write the book. That's right. It'll show you ways of getting outside experts in the topic you want to write on, to write the book, not to write the book for you, but to give you the content to write the book. And yes, there's ways of getting outside experts to give you content for free, and the book will walk you through that. In addition to that, it'll give you over 20 different ways to write a book. Think of that, 20 different ways. There's lots of different ways of writing a book, like a manual. That's one method. You can write a mini book. I have quite a few mini books that are just maybe 30 pages, but they're really small books. If you have, some ideas that aren't big enough for a huge book, a mini book might be very helpful. And don't discount that, because mini books get right to the point, no fluff, and people really like that. Do you want to write a chapter book? Do you want to write a picture book? There's so many different ideas, and I have about 20 of them included in the course. And then it gets into all the different parts of a book, the front matter, the back matter, all the different things that you need to include. Now, you don't need all the different ones, but it gives you a list of a lot of them, so you can pick and choose the ones you want that are more appropriate for your book. It goes through all the editing process, and most importantly, it goes through a huge part of the marketing process. It's great to write a book. You have this idea, you put it out there, it looks great, but if nobody sees it, no one's going to buy it. So go to theamericanschoolofhypnosis.com, click on our online store, and you'll find that. And while you're at theamericanschoolofhypnosis.com, I have a gift for you. While you're there, on the right-hand corner, you'll see something that says free book. So we're going to give you a free copy of our best-selling book, which is our clinical hypnosis manual from A to Z. Now, this is the same 446-page manual that we use to teach our students in class. So you can consider it our huge business card. So thanks for watching. Have a spectacular day. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click on the subscribe button and do it now, or I'll keep reminding you until you do. Bye-bye now.